Tony boy, how we doing, mate?
Tommy, what's happening?
Not a lot, mate. TNT episode 3. Happy about it?
Good. So am I. What's this week? What's it going to be?
This
what have we
week-
got to talk about?
It's about social life balance to training balance. A few other subjects, but mainly that.
Do you think we'll touch on it and then we'll kind of go for there? Is that something that's affected you in the past?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Gym, chippy on a Friday night with the boys. Oh, special fish, incline press. So, I mean, aye, definitely, mate.
I think that's, there you go, you can wait up and go, your chippy, your incline press. But I think with this podcast, and I think we spoke about that, like, these are the points we want to cover because we are trying to keep things, I won't say normal, but the way we are.
Yes.
We like going out, we like socialising, we also like getting results. We're not in the gym just to get nothing out of it. So it's, I think we've found that balance over time now. We're going to talk about that today.
Yeah.
First things first, we have questions to go over.
We do.
Would you like to do the honours first?
Of course I would. So, your question to me last week was,
What was it actually?
3 people dead or alive. that I
Oh,
could
so
have
it
for
was.
dinner, and why? And the 3 of them are alive. The 3 of them are alive.
They don't have to be alive, by the way.
I know. Aye, they're alive. So,
We're changing it now.
first person, pretty common answer. I feel like it would have been most people's lists. Elon Musk. Super interested in him. Interested in all the experiments and crazy stuff that he's got going on. And as a person, I think for being a billionaire and being like the tech geek of tech geeks, he's very, can't I say relatable, but he's very easy to listen to and speak to. Like he doesn't use, his wording of things isn't too complicated, whereas I feel a lot of people would expect that from someone at that level or in that industry. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
So,
Elon Musk. Get
Elon-
on with the other two.
next one's Martin Scorsese.
Aye.
It's
a weird wee combo you're putting together.
I know.
Boy band.
Just wait. Just wait. So, Martin Scorsese, he's definitely got some mental stories. Obviously, he's interesting as hell. He's made some of the best movies ever. Goodfellas, and etc. So, I love Martin Scorsese. He would be one. And lastly, I had to weigh this one out, and I tried really hard. And there's so many people that I could have thrown in there, but I went with Michael Jordan. I feel like there's not many combinations where Michael Jordan would fit in because he's quite, I don't know if ignorant's the word or arrogant. Well, I mean, probably both of them. And it can come across quite enforcing, but I feel like at a dinner table, that would be no bad. Plus, he could cover the bill, or the other billionaire that's at the dinner table. So I would definitely be having a shandy or two at that, mate. 100%.
Do you know what? This is why I asked you this question. 3 good people, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I found out you're a selfish bastard.
How that? How you work that out?
I would always have a friend there with me.
That's nice.
But how okay, it'll be an amazing experience, but
Uh-huh.
who are you going to talk to about it forever? Yourself? I suppose you could do that, but
I mean, that I feel rotten now, man.
and there'll be a conflict interest there. Scorsese and Michael Jordan will definitely have a bust up.
100%.
So I would
Michael Jordan end up getting whacked. Nah, I agree with what you say there. Probably should have had some. And in fact, no, I don't.
Aye, fuck your pals.
Aye, 100%.
Thought you'd invited me, but there we go then.
Nah, I'm sorry, Tony.
Oh well. But that's good.
Your
I like
question.
that. Like that. Right. My one. You asked me what did I take for my first bodybuilding show?
Yes, that was it, mate.
That was in 2019. So I must have just hit puberty about then. So like, no much, but I did. No, to be fair, like, I've competed 3 times now. Each time you take something better from it. I've found anyway. But I wrote down each prep rather than going through just the first one. The first one was good. I think what I kind of took for that was just kind of the introduction to what bodybuilding was. The discipline that has to come with it. It's a another step up again, feel like dying for a photo shoot or a holiday, whatever it may be, and then you've got this. I believe you get to a part in bodybuilding where it's no sport anymore, it's no fitness, it's still sport, but there's a period in it that's just grim. And so like you do learn quite a lot for that. So I think the first prep was definitely that, just getting in there, proving that you can do something. I think I came second that show, but it was good. But then I didn't compete for a long while, and then last year, that was when I done my 2 shows. So the second show, or the first show of last year, I remember like I lost my mate at the end of 2022, and I just kind of put this thing in my head that I'm just going to go for things next year. Had this wee desire to just try and be best. It was weird, but because like, I mean, you might relate to this. Because like, I was thinking of this coming up, and it's more like maybe you thought like this when you started with your kind of fat loss journey of like, there's something, whether it's a gut feeling or it's something in your heart that says, go and do that. Like, it's not that it's the getting up stage and firing on tan, but there was just something in me that says, go and gravitate towards that. And looking back on it now, it maybe wasn't as clear then, but I knew I had to do that year, if that made sense. Like, I knew, right, you're going for this, you're going to give us, there's more to come for this. And I found after the shows, it wasn't so much as about the shows, if that makes sense. It was more what I'd gained for it.
Aye.
So I think second show was, again, would I come third then? Came down, it was in Newcastle.
Yep.
And I took as I said, I ended up, would I come? Aye, came third. A few of the boys all came down. And I think that prep taught me, or that show as such, like, don't solely focus on the outcome.
Aye.
Because you're in no control over that. Like, I'm standing up on a stage which is subjective to what people think of you. And I'm putting that out there. So don't focus on something that you have zero control over. Yep. Whether they like you or they don't like you. Focus on what you gain from it. And I remember looking out after the stage and I seen all my mates kind of cheering for me, jumping about. And I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
Aye.
Ross allowed me to go for something to eat after it. And I remember sitting with all the boys going like that. Like, I didn't say much for a wee while and I'm just looking about going, I could stop this. Like, I know I've got another show coming up.
Yeah.
But this is amazing. Like, you kind of realise what you've got.
Aye.
Friend-wise, I've had all these mates drive down for Glasgow to Newcastle, sit all day. You've seen these shows, they last all day. I mean, you've been to them and stuff like. To know that I had friends like that and people that supported me, even the ones that couldn't make it, was fucking like incredible in my eyes. So like, I actually remember finishing that show and I was like, I could just not do this last one and be happy. Like, I've gained so much for this prep.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I've got this other thing in my head, like, and it made sense after it, like, and that is, come through with what you say long after the mood and what you've said it was past. So it's like, if I tell you I'm going to do something,
yeah,
see it through.
Yep.
Go and do that last show. Go and turn up for that gym session. And it probably comes to maybe like, as you can probably see the way I've spoken about this for the last 5 minutes, I'm quite a deep thinker. But
absolutely.
It probably comes to just getting let down in the past. So I'm a bit like, I don't want to be the guy who maybe end up like, his word doesn't mean anything.
Yes.
So if I say, by all means, I could have finished after that second show, but come through with what you said you were going to do. And I'm so glad I did do that. It was I think I get fourth, but after it was that whole, like, you've done what you said you were going to do. Be that guy. Do you know what I mean? So your words get something behind it rather than just being like, and I try and always do that. Do you know what I mean? I'm human like MDL, so I mean, you let people down sometimes, but that was the biggest ones. The first show, when you're finding your feet, you're a young guy, but they 2 shows there were like huge for me because after that, I don't think I lost that wind.
Yeah.
Like, I've got that wee kind of, as I said, that bit of drive now, go and start a podcast, go and do this, make sure you're always striving for that wee bit more. Appreciate that you are pushing for better. But there was this constant, like, I needed those shows to push on. It's not like I finished them, I realised that what they meant to me, what the people around me meant to me as well. They always meant something. They just really amplified that. You're looking out, they're there, there's that kind of focus on it. So I think that lasted a wee bit longer, but I think that when you go and do bodybuilding as well, it teaches you that, like, if the Instagram and everything else wasn't there, would you still do that? And I know I was speaking before about, you asked me if I was going to prep again. And at one point, I probably will, just because everything I've spoke about, you can take so much good away from bodybuilding if you're not just doing it for all the wrong reasons.
Yes.
But I've also got to be aware that I probably won't for a while now, just because you're not the best version of yourself. Like, you are a bit... It's a selfish sport. It gets to a point where you can't quite deliver the way you want to be as a person. So I think you get to a stage where you have to look back and go, right, well, time to maybe give that a rest. Focus on friends, focus on the people who all turned up for there, and maybe be there for them. And I think I've said that to you before, if I was to prep again, it'd be a silent prep.
Right, okay.
I wouldn't tell
I love that. That's cool, man.
Wouldn't tell anyone. Obviously, when you got towards the end of the stage when you can't walk upstairs and people are going to go, like, he's competing. But I wouldn't tell anyone I was prepping a game.
Okay.
Because, like we spoke about a game with the social media thing last week, if it wasn't there, would you still do it? My love for bodybuilding came when social media wasn't that apparent. I didn't jump on stage to, oh my God, I've done this, get the tan on and be like, it was for all the reasons. And I think what I took for kind of shows 2 and 3 really emphasised that to me. There's much more to take from that side of competing, which in my view meant the world to me. The trophies and such didn't mean that much. I mean, like, it's more what you take for it. But so that was that.
Trophies and the mantelpiece don't mean as much as sitting at the dinner table, mate, with a steak.
Oh, it was brilliant, mate. Honestly, I've had some good dinners in my time. That was up there. Anyone that's competed knows that there is no better feeling than eating food after a show. Like, 1 or 2 things, but it's fucking unbelievable. But anyway, that was my experience with bodybuilding. Semi-retired now. Somebody who's also retired.
I know.
Your good old pal C-Bum. What about it? What do you think? What was it? Olympia was last week.
Yes, last week.
Yep. We'll touch on him.
Aye, so
we'll touch on him.
I'll touch on him. So, number 6. And for anybody that knows Chris Bumstead or is interested in his content and stuff, that number means a lot to him, because, like me, one of his biggest idols is Michael Jordan. 6 rings, blah, 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 whatever else. Of course, I kind of, me and C-Bum are right close, so he thought, nah, I'm kidding. I thought that was coming, so I did. I kind of expected that.
Told you, text you, didn't he?
Aye, let me know. Said the night before it, by the way, when you're watching this, bring your hankies. So,
you'd have took me anyway, you big pervert. Fucking chugging at him.
Aye. Mate, wow, man. What a nick to get yourself into. But besides the point, kind of like you touched on, I don't love Chris Bumstead for how he looks. Like, I'm making it sound like I'm a bird. I'm making it sound like he's my bird. It is deeper than that. Like, I think all his morals align perfectly with mine, and kind of the guy that he is and the drive that he has to do this stuff means, like, it's so relatable. It's so easy to listen to, and it just fires me up. So
I think, because he's going a bit, what he's done with the intentions that he has is really refreshing. And I think if it was another, you're kind of, not say typical bodybuilder, we probably wouldn't be speaking about him right now. But he's got that, and he has appealed so many people to that style of training, even just fitness. And like you said, I think just the way he turns up as a person is incredible. Aye,
he's immaculate, mate. It's everything about him. His attitude towards life in general is just so appealing. Everything that he kind of stands for and stuff like that. And like you said, they said it on the Chris Williamson podcast, he's an odd person to be a world champion, if you would say so, I guess.
Do you think that proves, of course, he is devoted so much to what he's done, but
Yep.
he's also said, I'm not willing to give my life for this, which is a risk you run competing at that level. Actual, your physical life and your social life. But it shows you that it can be done, even at that level. So if you could take what Chris Bumstead's done, diet and like watered it down a wee touch. I say diet down, pardon the pun there. But you can still achieve unbelievable things. I seen the way he spoke after it, and I knew he was stopping for his family.
Yeah.
Like, that's my theory. Like, I think the type of guy he is, I think he's seen his wife. Are they married?
Yes, they are now. Yeah.
I've seen she's become a mother, and it's like I spoke about. Like, you are very selfish when you're on prep. He's physically said like he can't turn up the way he wants to turn up.
Yeah.
So I think there's a huge part of that he actually wants to become like the man he's always said, like he's preaching now. And those last stages of bodybuilding, like, if you've done it, you can't. Like, you physically can't walk upstairs. Like, it's incredibly hard in the way he's done it over 6 years. Plus, he's done all these shows before.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to have an end date, especially somebody that wants to have a normal life.
Aye.
But I think, Big C-Bum, legend.
Aye, he is, man. He is. I mean, the rest of Olympia was good too. Samson, bringing it back to the UK. That was sick. So it was. Kind of gutted that Nick Walker never got to compete because I love Nick Walker. But then again, I'm sure he'll be there next year.
He will. Anyway,
Yep.
Moving on. This week, social life.
Yep.
Speaking about, obviously, you've been at a point where you've maybe been out, effects that might come with it. But I think we want to kind of, like we've said, let's speak about ways to try and make things better. Because I think just the way me and you talk, like, we are sociable people. We want to be out. And like we said before, we also want results. So it's that, what works for you.
Yep.
And I think, especially with you, I want to touch on that first. Like, where were you before on a night out? Like, what? Well, I know we gathered for the first episode that you weren't in such a good place with a lot of things. But when you would socialise on a night out, how would you actually feel being out? And like, what would come with that? Was there any after effects? Was there anything that kind of...
Aye, definitely there was. Again, related back to food, but before a night out, the typical plan was like that. I was always more excited about the build up to going out than being out, because when I was actually out, my anxiety was through the ceiling. Like, and people will be surprised with that again, but it really was. I was always kind of nervous and thinking, like, are people looking at me, or the million thoughts that go through your head. It's actually a good thing, but it's been that long for being in that situation, I've kind of forgot a wee bit about kind of some of the stuff that I did feel like, but I know it was very uncomfortable. Things like shopping for clothes, mate. Like, maybe if you need to jump out in wherever it may be, like the Fort, and grab a pair of jeans or something. Like, jeans only fit my lard ass in Zara, mate. So, you know what I mean? Like, the thoughty stuff like that.
To be fair, the sizing in Zara would send you off your head.
Oh, I know, it would. I would send you to the gym. So, aye, there was that kind of stuff, mate. And then, like, coming home from a night out, like, you know yourself, you're like, everybody wants to come home and get a party and whatever else. I really mean this. I just wanted to go home and get scran. Like, I just wanted to go up the road to get a munch and blah, blah, blah. And the next day, of course, everybody deals with hangovers in different ways, but this is one of the worst ways. And I guess I've got this from being with you, and you've given me advice on it and blah, 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 whenever I've had a few drinks and all the rest of it. But that lying in your bed on Just Eat, ordering scran, it's pure crap. Eating it, feeling even worse. Getting up, got to show for sweeties, blah, blah, blah. And it was just such a knock-on effect. And I would, again, excuse myself, be like, maybe I have something to do. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I was out, I'm rough, and I can't be bothered, and whatever it may be. So, definitely an uncomfortable place. An uncomfortable place to be in at that point in my life, mate.
Do you think it was education that was holding you back? 'Cause now you obviously know, you've obviously built better habits. Mm-hmm. But what stops you from doing those things now, apart from me? A lot of, like we spoke, mostly anybody can lose weight, because losing weight is an incredibly hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, building a framework there to keep that weight off is what separates you if you go moving backwards and continue to move forwards. What do you do now, whether it's after you've taught yourself or I've maybe, what comes together now that makes you go, right, I'll do this now and I don't feel as bad about it, or I've got it kind of sets my week up a wee better? Is there anything, because like I said to you, like, I do want you going out, I want you going socialising with your missus, whatever it may be, or out with your pals, but what stops you now from that snowballing, whereas before it was just seemed to be like disaster?
I think that as well as you help me lose weight and be my coach and give me loads of positive attributes, mate, I think one of the best ones that I've took from you is the planning of things. So if so happens I'm going out this weekend, for talking sake, I'm going to mention it to you. I'm going to say, by the way, this weekend I'm going out, blah blah blah, we'll have a laugh, we'll have a carry on about it, whatever else. For that week, we'll plan for that week. No, I'm not saying that week's hell. I'm not saying that week you've gave me this amount of cardio and that and all the rest of it. It'll be the case of, right, maybe we'll chip a wee bit more in here, or we'll fit what you were going to do at this time. Maybe, say I'm going out Friday night, we'll fit whatever day it was you were meant to be training Saturday, or whatever it is you're meant to be doing beforehand. Or you've got that time to rest. A good tip you gave me was the electrolytes. I butchered that there. Electrolytes. Lecky lights. Aye. Having a drink of them when you come home for a night out. I'm quite sensible. I don't like people like
that. How good a tip's that?
Oh, amazing.
See if
Tony,
you come
amazing.
in. I don't know if I should be telling people this, but I will anyway. See if I have a drink, I'll come in, have a Hydra Flow, then go to my bed. See, and I wake up in the morning, Hydra Flow again, no hangover.
Ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
And I'm thinking, you've told me that, like, he just wants me to go to bed and piss the bed, man. Bob kicks me out of the bed like No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I think, do you know, I love getting up after having a drink that and being super fresh, having the freshness. I think that's one of the best feelings you can have. See that next day, instead of lying in your bed feeling blah, 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 up and going out and feeling fresh and feeling good and blah, 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 and you still get the... You ever used to like be out with your pals when you were younger, and the next day you're just all lying buckled?
Aye.
That doesn't change. That's
no,
so, do you know what I mean? It's still there, but you actually feel better for it, mate. So I would definitely say the planning of things has been a lot better, mate.
A lot of people get in their head, right, I'm going on Friday or Saturday, and the full week just gets pissed up. That's
and the following week too. That's something that I've never done. For being with you, for we've kind of started training and stuff like that, I've never been like, I'm going out on Friday and then Monday comes and I still feel a wee bit tender and excuse myself for it. Don't be wrong, there's some sessions that maybe I've went out and let my guard slip and I've been in Five Guys in the town and whatever it may be, but I've still on the Monday, even though maybe training doesn't feel great as what it has or whatever it may be, still there, still show up and get the job done.
But the more, like I've said that to you before, look, if it becomes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just have it the Saturday night, go out for your nice dinner, go out for a few drinks, whatever you end up doing. Sunday, get back to it, just do something a wee bit more constructive. Of course you're not going to feel 100%, but it's better than doing what you were doing previously.
100%.
I mean, and that's what I try and kind of teach you, but you can't, before you know it, you've messed up on the Friday, you messed up on the Saturday, Sunday's non-existent. That's nearly half your week for one night out. And I know I used that phrase before, look, you've had your fun. You know what I mean? Like,
no, you're right.
There's also that, and we'll speak about this next, I think, like picking the good ones and, like we spoke about, being present in it, making sure you're enjoying it and not just going out all the time, which I think we live in Scotland where there's this drinking culture where, do you feel there's an element of pressure that might relate to maybe the people you're with or you're hanging about with, that you had to go out and drink?
In ways, yes. Although, when I was younger and stuff, I wasn't a big drinker, mate. Like, as in, like you just said, it's a culture in Scotland. People are down the park for 13 with a bottle of Mad Dog hanging out their mouth. Like, and it was no something that I ever really dabbled with until I got a bit older and I had that kind of fun stuff like that. There is that inevitable pressure, because you feel like you're missing out. Do you know what I mean? You feel like, I'm going to miss out, and what if this happens, or what if that happens, or whatever it may be. you don't need to go to that. You don't need to come to that and be like, oh, I need to drink to go and enjoy my night out. I speak to you every day. There's sometimes I'll text you and whatever it may be. Either somebody could be having a party or whatever it is. 9 times out of 10, mate, you're not having a drink. I mean, you have the occasional drink. You still go out and enjoy yourself. You still have a good time, but it doesn't need to always be the case. Do you know what I mean?
I think I've obviously done it for a long time.
Yeah.
You got to manage your expectations. So if you want to feel a certain way or look a certain way, or even just perform, whether it's business, work, relation, everything, I've known that if I take it too far with drink, then I'm going to be, pardon the French, fucked all week.
Aye.
Like, so it's no worth me doing it. What I have done over the years is I've actually become quite good at picking them wisely. And there's very few times, we spoke about this in my last episode, like, when I go out and enjoy it, to the point where I take all my clothes off and run about hotels. But you've also got to wait, like, I don't think there's anything I've ever missed.
Yep.
Like, I've got good at picking the good ones.
Yeah.
And that comes from actual going out, and I feel it's also important to get that. I like to socialise sober.
Yeah.
I think that's an important thing. Like, I said that to you before. Like, I feel it's personally a problem if you can't go out and socialise with your friends sober. There will become a point in that night where you say, right, I'm off.
Aye.
But I would say it's a you problem then. If you can't physically sit and communicate with people sober, but do you need drink to socialise?
Yep.
And that might sound a bit like extreme or anything like that, but I don't see my mates a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't want to drink, I'm going to lock myself in the house.
Nah.
And I think if you're a young guy as well, some people are really into their bodybuilding, and that's a great thing. I also don't want to, when I was younger, I didn't want to lock myself away.
No.
Because I think part of growing up or part of maturing is putting yourself in positions where you can actually get better. If that makes sense. Like, see if you go out and you fuck it, or you get yourself in a bad situation, which we've all done.
Yeah.
How do you learn for that? How do you adapt for that? You're not going to develop all these skills that you can actually communicate and talk about folk if you don't put yourself in situations. That's not saying go out and drink every week.
Yep.
But go out and socialise with people. Go out and speak to people that you maybe wouldn't speak to before. And I've found that, like, I can go out openly and socialise with people, and that's a huge thing for me. Like, I don't want to need drink to become myself. I mean, I think that's good. What I really got good at was, as I said, picking those good nights out. And
yep.
I think the more I done that, my mates started to appreciate that a bit more. For me to turn up and no drink wasn't a big deal.
Yep.
I think that's the kind of break for you eventually get to. No many people are grabbing, why you not drinking out, why you not doing this? Because they know you can be probably just as fun for it.
You've overcame that peer pressure.
Aye. And it's no when I eventually do have a drink, it's, you can have a laugh, you can let your hair down. With you, obviously we've got to that stage where there has been times I've said to you, you don't need to go out and drink.
Yep.
And you've openly said, like, you're right, I don't. But how did you feel that when you had gained that ability to say no, what did that give you?
I was so critical of saying yes to everything. Like, so bad for it, Tony.
Big yes, man.
Aye, I'll do it. Aye, 100%. Make 10 plans in the one day and probably no day any of them. Sit in the house, man, order McDonald's. But aye, I done so much for other people and got, like, and I still do a lot for other people. And it's not like I ever want anything back from doing that, but I never done enough for myself in that respect. So in the sense of saying no to going on nights out and all that kind of side of things, I had a reason to, mate. Whereas before I never had that fire in my belly to go and do that. I wasn't bothered, do you know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't the case where I was on a weight loss journey or whatever it may have been, I would have been like, whatever. But I knew that this was more important. I knew that this had a deeper meaning than just saying, it's only one night out. Like, it doesn't matter. Know what I mean? Whatever.
Is that because you think you've now set, there's a goal in your mind that means something?
Yes.
That outweighs that Friday night going to the pub?
Aye, there is, of course. And see, like you just said, see, if I really wanted to, I can go to the pub and socialise. I don't need to have a drink. Sometimes I feel like I mean, it's probably a bit different for myself to you, because you're a couple of years older than me and whatever. I still see my pals very often. Do you know what I mean? And they're all very social people. They're usually out most weekends. There's plenty of opportunity. Like you just said, pick the right ones.
Aye.
Find the right time. There's times where I've been like, right, I could have a drink tonight, whatever it may be, and maybe I had one last weekend and the weekend before and the football was on and whatever it is. And I know without asking you, I know the right thing is probably shouldn't do that. And that's why you're my coach. It's that accountability. Like, I'm not asking you to see what you're going to say or find out the right answer. I'm going to take that answer better for you than I'm anybody else, even though I know it's right, even though I know it's the right thing to do. There's that accountability.
Aye. I think that what we speak about next, like, manage your expectations.
Yeah.
So see if you are going to go out and drink Friday, Saturday, sit in your pit all day Sunday, accept that you're not going to get as far ahead as you would if you were maybe on it that wee bit better, focused, and go like that. Right, well, that's fine. I'm quite happy moving at this pace. You still will get, good enough results, but don't, as I said, manage your expectations. Don't think that you're going to excel like somebody like yourself who maybe doesn't as much. You'll see results, like, they'll come at you so much quicker. By all means, we will factor in nights out. But if you're out every weekend, one, you probably don't value your nights out as much. You're certainly going to you're not going to feel good when you're training. There's this knock-on effect, but you probably find people in there like scratching their heads, like, oh, why am I not getting results? I'm like, because you're out Friday, Saturday, sitting in your arse all day Sunday. Like, that's why you don't get, like, when you started managing expectation a wee bit better. I think I've said that to you before, like, if you say, right, I'm going out at this point, we're not expecting, like, major results that week. But there's this agreement to go, right, well, the night out you've picked means something that wee bit more.
Yes.
And I think that's a huge thing to do as well. Like, people get themselves upset because they've went out. Like, if I give somebody advice, say, go and enjoy your night out. We spoke about that in the last episode as well. Be present in it.
Yeah.
Accept that you're not going to feel good the next day. Like, that's normal. Like, you've been out all night partying. Like,
of course.
It's like, if you're going to sit in 7 days and just be on a diet plan, but of course you're going to get incredible results, but you're also not going to get the social side of meeting friends, going out, developing yourself, meeting people. So there has to be a wee bit of balance somewhere.
Of course it does. It's so important, mate. It's so important in every aspect of life. You need to be able to go out and socialise and, like you just said, be present, have a good time, have the memories. Like, it's such a big thing, but like we've just spoke about a few minutes ago, like, there's such a big culture in Scotland where it's just, I need to be out every weekend, and, mate, the money people must spend, man. Jeez, do you know what I mean? See if they brought out lagered flavoured whey protein, it would be the best seller in Scotland, mate. So it would. But aye, it's crazy, and it's what comes along with it. Do you know what I mean? The next thing you know, it's not just going out and having a drink, it's back here partying, doing whatever, and you feel like a bag of dicks for days. And
back here, but a studio partying. You know, a podcast studio for an after party.
Oh, what, man?
No, but you're right.
Like, spoken name. Jeez, oh man, can't think of that. Anyway,
clap after the studio. But no, you're right. Like, I think you've also got to accept that sacrifices are necessary.
Yes.
Like, there's a reason why you want to pursue this of making yourself better. So you can't be the person that you were before. Like, something's got to give you. We spoke about that before. Like, in your case, it was the Tiny Toms and the Chinese. So something's got to give. To be fair, like, you can't. I always say that, like, everything comes with a trade-off. Like, if you want to, in your case, lose nearly 10 stone, you have to leave parts of you behind.
Aye.
And it's great. It's actually, it excites me when people want to do that, because I know there's loads of positive stuff to come with that as well. And normally, people leave a lot of the shit behind. There's a reason why, maybe speaking back to how I felt when you've that wee gut feeling in your body, that I think you can maybe relate to, where you go, sometimes things just come together when you go, no, I need to go and pursue this. And that doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but there's something in there that goes, like, this path I'm going down, something's telling me to gravitate towards that. And for that to happen, you probably need to leave in some cases, certain people.
Yep.
But certain aspects of your life, your habits, they all need to get left behind. I think the way we are and the way we're kind of trying to build this now, we're trying to build a nice lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? Going out for dinner with your missus, going out with your friends now and then, like building something that you can do. I've said that to you before. If you can't do it for a day, don't do it. If you can't do it forever, don't do it for a day. Like, there will be times within that where we need to maybe be a wee bit tougher on our diet and focus a wee bit more, but overall we're trying to build a lifestyle, and I think that's where people maybe lack more than anything. It's always like, oh, because I went out on a Friday, that's me, what a bad position I'm in. Like, get up, get on with it, accept that you wanted a night out, you're human, you're young.
Exactly.
And you go again.
Aye.
And I think what we want to speak about, obviously, is we're into October,
mate.
We've got November, Christmas is coming up. Huge time. We worked together last Christmas, which I was quite fucking on you last week, last year. On
the ball, man.
But listen, I'm not going to turn up to your house Christmas Eve and tell you to count your turkey to your selection boxes after you.
That's it.
But where people always go wrong this time of year is one, you see like a kind of huge drop off in the gym, which if I can give you any advice, I tell clients this: when you get summer passes, you get out like the goal slightly changes, like reevaluate things and stay in the fight. Like, that's as simple as it can be. Don't expect it to be incredible, but do not stop the gym. And you see people when they get to like November, December, can't be asked. But before you know it, you're into January, you've put on all this weight, you're feeling terrible about yourself, or you've not pushed on the way you were, and you've not got that forward momentum to keep going. So I think, what did we do different last year? If somebody's listening to this and they go, right, I'm maybe not quite motivated the way I was, what would you tell somebody who is in that position that wants to keep going but just needs that wee bit more of a drive to go when January comes, they've no pushed themselves back?
One would be, don't let a few bad days of training turn into a month. Don't, like you just said, stay in the fight. Don't let early January, few crap days of training, work's brutal, weather's crap. Don't let that turn into, after the new year and that, I'll sort that again. Don't. Because you are going to punish yourself so much mentally throughout the time period and no go to the gym. When all you need to do is go to the gym throughout that thing. You don't, like you just said, it's not going to be glamorous. It's that time of year where, like we've just spoke about, there's so much things to do. You're going to have the nights out. You're going to enjoy yourself. Go out and have a good time. Go out and spend money. Go out and do whatever it is you want to do that makes you happy. But don't just do that and then just be like, away. It's what are you willing to sacrifice to get the goals that you want to get to? And at this time of year, it's so important. Like, already, I notice it. I don't know if you did. Well, I imagine you're in the gym more than me. I already noticed a decline than 2-3 months ago. Do you know what I mean? Right now, at this time of year, because it's cold outside and pissing rain and blah, 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 and people are like, any excuse.
Right.
You don't want it that much. If that's
actually, you will see, like, even like myself, like, things start to dip this time of year. Summer's gone, weather's terrible. But what's the answer to that? We're going to stop training for the next 2 months for the rest of our life?
That's it.
I'm not saying the things have to be amazing, but like you said, just keep turning up. See, when January does come in, you've already got this wee forward motion. You can tighten up the diet a wee bit better. You can, before you know it, it's March, it's April. You've got 6 months behind you then of training hard. Like, that is a good amount of time. Like, you're going to look considerably different this time next summer. So like I was with you last year, like, I was on you because as a coach, I don't think somebody should just see in front of them. You should be able to see how that client will be this time next year or this time next summer. And I think what we've done within that year is, I was right.
You were right. And I had a few belters and nights out of Christmas and that, mate. It's not like...
Don't tell me that.
No, I did. I had some good days out and some good nights out. It's not like I was out every single night partying, like wreaking havoc. I was still in the gym. I loved it all that time of year because you're off work and whatever else and you've got the time to go to the gym and like we've said, go in, get the job done, then have fun, muck about with your pals, get a carry on.
That's that. This time of year, is me speaking about like you miss out on nothing. You're still having Christmas Day, Boxing Day, Christmas Eve. You're still getting what Christmas is.
Yep.
People turn Christmas into a 3-week holiday.
That's it.
What?
You're so right, mate.
It's not that.
Aye, you're right. Christmas starts in Scotland on like the 16th, mate. As soon as it hits Thursday, man, folk are like, I've worked tomorrow and all the rest of it. And the next thing you know, it's the 2nd of January, man. You're sitting with your belly full of gravy and turkey, man. On a selection box wrappers to the side of the bed. So, no, you're right, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's, like you said, it's what you're willing to, I say give up. You're not giving up much.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you're just putting yourself in a terrible position.
Yep.
Like, and that's what we try and map out. And I think that's a good advice for anyone. Like, map out how you want the end of your year to look.
Yeah.
Set realistic goals. Don't tell me, I want to lose 20 kilo within the months of November and December. Like, but say yourself, right, I want to maybe sit in maintenance, or I want to I want to just turn up and enjoy my training. You need to meet your expectations. Like, we've done that really well over the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so big for pushing forward. But then, I think on that, we're going to go on to our Sweat the Small Things section.
Yes. And funny enough, you just said that, mate, because that is what mine would be this week, is to set achievable goals. You don't need to be the best in the gym. You don't need to be the best at your job. You need to be the best that you can be. That's something every day that I try to do. Like this morning, for instance, mate, there is nothing, and I mean nothing on this earth that I could be less fucked with than doing cardio this morning. But I knew I wouldn't do it tonight.
Yep.
I knew I wouldn't do it tonight. And honestly, there's so many times I was like, you could just. Even when I was doing the cardio, I was like, 25 minute, man, I could just kind of finish at 30 and go and just do the job. Set the goals that are achievable for yourself. Set the goals that, like, I'm so happy I done that this morning, because after I done it, I felt so good, mate.
Aye. I think I've said that to you before. Like, the anxiety of not doing the cardio all day is worse than doing the cardio.
Oh, so much worse.
Because you're going, I need to finish my work, and I need to get up to the gym, and the weather's shit outside.
Yep.
I'm quite big for training in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a great thing to do. Some people physically can't be done. But whatever it is, I think ticking it off first thing in the morning is a good thing to be.
Absolutely, it is, mate. Set those goals along the way to that big one. We spoke about this in the first episode. It's about the journey. It's about ticking all the wee ones off, building your character, doing the things that make you you. When you get to that big point, then that's great. You just said it earlier on, speaking about bodybuilding. Stage was great. Seeing your pals happy was great. Going out for dinner with your mates after it. You've got to remember that. It meant more. It's the wee things, mate. It's not always about the big massive picture at the end of the road. To get there, you need to tick all these off.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Everything's got to be within means.
It's those wee unglamorous things that people
That's it.
don't really care about, but they lead to something
Absolutely.
extravagant of going, Tommy, you're looking amazing. Or look, it was those wee monotonous things that you were doing that led to you being the way you are now. So
Aye.
I like that. It's good.
What's yours?
Speaking of ticking things off, I think that's something I go over as well. Like, every night, I will set out my to-do list for the day after.
Mm-hmm.
On that to-do list is things that, first of all, if you're doing it, does it align? Some people always say, I've got a wee to-do list, things to do, and I was in the habit of doing that before, and I'd write down absolute shit. Oh, make sure you scrub the skirtings in the house. Get the hoover. And then you were busy doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? By the end of it, you were like, and it's easy to write down shit, and you think you're doing well, and it's not like, can I change things about a wee bit? I was like, right, priority list. Is it going to push me on to where I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'd obviously note down. So I write down everything that would make, like we spoke about, makes me better.
Yep.
It comes, by the end of the day, something good about ticking things off as well. But I've added to it as well. Sometimes when you do see that big list, it can be a wee bit daunting. You go, oh, I've got that to do and this to do. So if say there's 10, 12 things on that, you can look at it and go, oh, I've got a lot to do today. The first one or two I do, I make them quite easy, simple things. They're still going to do me justice for the day.
Yes.
But once those two are ticked off, you start this wee kind of forward motion and go, oh, wait a minute here. Like, I'm actually doing this now. Your kind of head gets in a good headspace, and then you start to just go for the rest. So I would, that'd be mine. Definitely that. I love that, ticking things off. I've got an old diary. Write my stuff down every day and just tick, tick, tick. By the end of the day, last tick, you feel unbelievable with it. So that's something I would add in.
It's a great habit to get into. Definitely.
So that was that. Pressing on for there before we wrap up. Shall we go over next week's letters?
I guess we should, aye.
There we go. Well, dig them
Probably.
out.
I don't know why I'm dreading it this week, but I'm dreading it.
Tommy.
Tony, thank you.
Wee blue envelope, aye.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get this? Clinton's?
Do you know, somebody's getting a killed off my mother. She'll describe me fingerprints on it. That's right, a killed pack. Oh.
Would you want this back if I watch how I'm ripping this?
No, I do not want it back.
You want to go first?
I'll go first. Since I've known you, I've seen you change so much as a person. Has your definition of happiness changed as well? If so, in what way? Nice, I like that one, mate.
Here we go. If you give your younger self one bit of advice, what would it be? Don't take Tommy Doyle on as a client.
Oh.
I like that. I'll have a wee think about that this week.
Yep.
I think, can I wrap things up?
Yeah, I think as we're wrapping up from the two A's, we would like to just kind of say how much we appreciate all the kind of positive feedback and
Before we do that,
uh-huh,
before we thank everyone,
uh-huh.
we need to become the people and remind people to like,
Oh,
share,
so we do.
subscribe.
Aye,
Probably should have said it at the start, but here we are. If you've watched to the end, these things, we want a sponsor, don't we?
Aye,
So
we
we're
do.
going to need these
definitely.
these likes and followings up. So if you could,
Aye, and
brilliant.
send all it to Gymshark. Everything.
There you go.
Every reel, every clip. All. T-bums away, T-bums in, man. That's it. Aye, you're right. Oh, we're going to do that now. Wheel of Luigi 10. Like, screams, comment. Oh, doesn't matter. For people that haven't seen it, they're just going to hang. What are you talking about?
I will
You
bring
dick?
that up in the next episode.
Oh,
But you're right. Listen, I think speaking about that,
Yeah.
we spoke about that coming up. How much we've done this for a laugh. We get such a good buzz out it. There's been such good positive feedback. People that have had messages saying they've got back into the gym.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we've obviously done this as well. Like, it's unbelievable for us. Like, shout out to your old boy, your dad, even saying like
I know.
that means the world to us all.
Aye, it
To
does.
mean that people are taking good from this. Of course, we're trying to get a laugh along the way, but also try to educate as much as we can. So I think a huge thank you to everyone. Means the absolute world to us. Doesn't it?
Definitely. It really does. Aye, you're right. Thanks very much, guys. Don't eat Johnny Onion rings.
But listen, on that note,
Yep.
we've mapped out things for now to the end of the year. So
Yes.
every couple of weeks, podcasts will be coming thick and fast.
It's exciting
also-
times, mate.
I think we also want to hear from other people as well. Like,
Yeah.
anything you want us to speak about, as I say, we're trying to educate as much as we can. So if there's anything that you want us to go over, let us know. There'll be Q&As, episodes and that as well coming up. But like I say, if there's any topics that mean something to you, we will try our best to get a bladder about it.
Aye, I'm sure we'll manage you two. Is talk enough shite.
That's true. On that note, we'll wrap up.
Call it a day, mate. Or a
Get up,
week,
my
should I
boy.
say. Get up.